Legend League season has just reset today, so let's see how high of a trophy record I can get. Last month, the #1 player in the world had over 6,300 trophies, and my best is only 5,554. But I want a personal best this season. Let's do my first Town Hall 17 attack versus a Town Hall 16. This might happen the first couple of days, but just wait until you see the bases I find at 6,000 trophies. I can turn both of these invisible to fireball the multi-archer tower, get rid of all of those, send in the thrower troop, king to counter funnel, queen on the outside. We probably don't need to use my siege machine on this one. Can use that RC ability and my rage spell. As expected, an overwhelming 3-star for this first attack. I will assure to mix up these strategies for you in this video as well. I expect the cloned balloon technique to be very popular at Town Hall 17, and I think we can get pretty crazy value on this base. Blimp, Warden, Minion Prince. We can use the Warden ability first to protect the balloons. Triangulate your clone spells around the center, and then we can rage that as well and just watch the balloons continue to spawn as they move over the different spells. 3 stars left, right, and center. Fantastic. That was a nice giant arrow. The final 3-star of today, though, a perfect start to this video, but I'm in for a surprise on day 2. First, we have a quick word from our video sponsor. Thank you to DC Dark Legion for sponsoring today's video. DC Dark Legion is a free-to-play cross-platform strategy game and features faithfully voice-acted characters as it's an official DC game. Recruit, upgrade, and battle with over 200 iconic DC heroes and villains across recreated DC locations. You can assemble your team using an array of card collection mechanics, upgrade, and unleash the unique strength of heroes and villains like Superman and Lex Luthor, Batman, and the Joker. Battle with players from around the world, and if like me you enjoy base building, you can rebuild and customize your own Batcave. Above ground, you can shelter communities with support of your heroes to try and defeat the Dark Legion. DC Dark Legion releases on March 14th, but players who pre-register now are expected to receive 1 mythic hero, 1 weapon, 10 hero pulls, and a vast amount of cultivation resources. Pre-register now with my link in the description so that you can decide the fate of the DC universe. Thanks again to DC Dark Legion for sponsoring today's video. Day number 2, let's check my battle log. We've been 3-starred. What? Let's check that out. That's not my base layout. I've got none of the new defenses. Oh, I didn't change my Legend League layout. We need to fix that. And there's a hole in my base. He's just deploying the super archers right there. Okay, we had a perfect start yesterday as well. Let's copy a base link. Need to remove all of these obstacles. Fantastic. Save. Set as active layout. Oh, I don't even need it as my active layout. I need it as my defensive legend layout. Can't set the base until tomorrow, but let's set this one that at least has the new defenses. And I should change the CC troops as well. Let's go with a super dragon, actually. That can sometimes trip people up alongside the Inferno Dragon. I'm also going to set my spell towers to invisibility spell towers because that can be very effective in low legends. And hopefully we can defend better tomorrow. But let's shift to attacking. Our first Town Hall 17. I've been sticking with the dragons and the fireball into throwers because they're mainly the 2 attack strategies I used at Town Hall 16, obviously with the super witches rather than the throwers. I think I'm going to start my warden down at this bottom side, and we are going to try and hit the fireball onto the scatter shot. There we go. That gets rid of the scatter shot. Counter funnel with the king here. Now let's send the queen siege barracks over this side. Use the spiky ball now to get into the core. Not looking too bad. Freeze that invis tower. Town Hall invisible, but we should be good. I am going to freeze it one more time. It did actually get the Inferno blast off, but I'm pretty sure we're good here. Another Town Hall 17. Okay, let's just start so that we don't time fail. Do we take some? I don't think we're going to take any defenses down first. Let's just go like that. fireball. I only have one earthquake, unfortunately, so we won't get the ricochet cannon down. Oh, we did, but we missed the scatter shot because I mistapped the earthquake and got it in too late. Might end up going off here. It would be great if we could get him a touch further into the base before... Oh, I pressed the king ability rather than the queen ability. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Can we get it? Once RC gets that, let's use her ability. Try and get the Hog Riders to protect the Royal Champion a little bit. We can use the Wall Break to just provide any sort of damage onto that Tesla. Throwers get that. If we can get the Tesla, which the Royal Champion helps with, we can get the cleanup troops in. Wow, that was close. Another 3-star, though. 2 Town Hall 17s taken out today. This continued for the rest of the day with the thrower attacks, and I was able to achieve another perfect day on offense, but let's hope we get some better results on defense tomorrow. On day 3, I was finally able to activate my defensive layout so that hopefully I could have a little bit better success when defending. On offense, I was also only matching Town Hall 17s at this point. So I was no longer able to attack and not think, but it allowed me to continue practicing because I would have to define and perfect my strategy if I wanted to beat my record trophy count. Except for one base, where I thought I could get a bit tricky and almost had the Town Hall slip through my fingers. The more trophies we get though, the more difficult this will be. Day 4 was much of the same, but it was day 5 when I experienced the pain of my first 1-star. So, it was time to address some issues. We have things to fix on both the attacking and defending side of things. Today, a 3-star and a 99% on defense, and what I am seeing a lot of is the dragon attacks. I think I just have way too much clone value around the Town Hall. This is the first Town Hall 17 base link that I found. However, Itsu put out 4 Town Hall 17 bases today, so let's copy them all and we can test them one by one each day. For the attacks though, I am going to switch back to the dragons, but with a difference. Rather than cloning balloons in the clan castle, which can be very vulnerable to the red air mines, you can now fit 3 Yetis inside there, and by cloning up and raging the Yetis, I should be able to get incredible value in the core. Okay, first attack with the cloned Yeti blimp. Let's see what we can do here. I think there's only one angle we can come in from. It does mean we're going to hit the Gigabomb, I think, but let's try it. Yes, we do get the sweeper. Now let's go King, baby dragon there. Now let's send in the dragons. Balloons. Dragon Riders, and Warden, Limp. I'm trying not to use the Minion Prince this time around. Ability, clone either side here. Remember, there's no Giga Bomb, so we can literally drop right on top of the Town Hall. We can use an Earthquake there as well. King ability. Then let's use the Royal Champion on the back end of the base here. Wow, look at the amount of dragons in the middle. So the Yeti blimp seems to be way better than the balloons. Way more reliable as well, because if there's a lot of red air mines, we are toast. There's nothing we could do. We could clone all of the balloons and they would go down pretty quick. I can swag this rage spell. I really don't need it. Yes, I think I'm going to stick with this strategy over the weekend. And then by Monday, we'll be able to review and see whether I want to stay with the dragons or whether I want to switch to something else. But I think given we have 30 days left of the season, we should try and stick to this strategy a little bit and see if we get some stability. Over the weekend, I learned some valuable lessons, but the main one was the giant arrow. If I missed an air defense, it was fine, but if I missed an intended sweeper, it could ruin the entire attack. And my weekend was very up and down. For example, on day 9, I had 4 3-stars, but 4 2-stars. Some of these were a result of falling short on time. I had more than enough strength to take down the rest of the base, but clearing up the non-defensive buildings and ensuring you take down everything in the allotted 3 minutes is part of the skill. So time failing is something I had to get better at. But it really caused me to ask myself the question. The dragon is such a powerful attack, and you can crush the base in like 1 minute 30. But you can fall short. The throwers, you have so much left over, but you can often time fail. So which one do I go with? Day number 10, we will stick with the thrower attack strategy today. I will just try and be a little bit quicker when it comes to my attacks. We've taken 1 3-star defense so far today, but not too bad from that side of things. And yesterday, having 4 3-stars but 3 time fails was less than ideal. So let's see if we can just have quicker warden walks today. And if that still doesn't work, then tomorrow I'll go back to the drawing board and try and go to a different strategy. Now, the thing is, you can always attack in towards the town hall now. Is this the base that my warden actually went down? I think it was. Don't think we can use the flame flinger anyway. Let's just start because we don't want to time fail. To time fail? Man, I don't know what attack strategy I'm going to go with, but I need to pick one of them and just make sure that we get super efficient with it to finish the season strong. Second attack. Let's hope this one is a 3-star. Oh boy. 2 terrible attacks to start the day. What a mess. Obviously, it's different when it comes to war. This base was set up that I thought it was perfect to take down with dragons, but I crushed this. So I think we're going to use dragons for the rest of today and see how it turns out. This might get both air defense. Nope, only one of them. Okay, I've got the funnel set either side. Didn't realize I was attacking into the fire spitters. That was a silly move. Use the RC to take out some of the air defense. And get that expo down to support the royal champion. Okay, we just got a scatter shot across to that side. This is what happens with the dragons. You're so focused on the defenses that, like, I'm only on 81%. So you end up missing a bunch of trash buildings, but we've got it. Okay, I think I'm feeling more confident with the dragons just because of the flexibility of where to send the Yeti blimp, where to send the royal champion or the minion prince. But we'll see. Sometimes I can be quite indecisive, so maybe I'll change the strategy again in a couple of days if this one isn't quite working how I expect. Day 11. I feel like we had a good end to the day yesterday. The odd fumble when it comes to the attacks, but the dragons seem to be a bit better than the throwers for me right now. Defense not starting out great today. Okay, fire spitters facing each other. Town hall on this side. Let's go giant arrow through there. Get that air defense. Send the loons. With the dragons. Dragon riders. Grand warden. Freeze that. Use the warden ability. Then we can use the minion prince to the outside. The blimp here. Pop the yetis there to try and funnel. Then we will send the royal champion in from the top. Once that wears off, we can freeze there with the poison. Come on, where do I use this rage? I think here for these dragons. Get through the CC troops. Queen is still looking good at the bottom. We pick off the monolith. That air defense is a bit of a nuisance, but I do have a freeze. We've still got the queen and the RC. We managed to do that because I think we're safe when it comes to that air defense, but keeping the royal champion tanking a little bit longer, I felt like was the better call. And she survived with the spirit box. Let's go. Beautiful. 2 3-stars to start the day. Air seems to be doing a lot better for me. In my happiness, I did not realize that I had beaten my best. And with 5 3-stars, I finished the day comfortably with 5,723 trophies. The strategy I was using did offer me quite a bit of flexibility. I was able to use the blimp to the outside of the base, which people weren't expecting. They would expect the blimp to the middle towards the town hall, whereas I could use it to set up pathing for dragons, or if the queen was under heavy fire in an area of the base, I could send it over the top of the queen to take out defenses in the second layer and protect her. As much as I was gaining confidence with this, I had to go and jinx myself. We have not had a perfect attacking day since right at the start of the video. Ultimately, this then led to 4 attacks back to back where I failed. And this knocked my confidence using this approach. So I decided to switch to the Super Dragons for the next day. As much as I had some success though, the Super Dragons didn't always give me the best value. I felt they were very similar to when I tried the Electro Dragons, because Super Dragons provide splash, so in tightly compact bases, they could rip through areas very quickly. But as soon as I came across layouts that were more spread out, then I wasn't getting the benefit of the Super Dragons providing the splash. And when you're attacking in Legends League, you never know what you're going to come up against, so you need to be flexible in taking down a variety of different layouts. That is exactly what I found with the Electro Dragons. I wasn't always able to utilize their chain effect. With the Dragons and Dragon Riders, you get the best of both worlds. The dragons can move through defenses and non-defensive buildings, whereas the dragon riders can move ahead and try and take down the defenses faster with their greater DPS. It was also during this time that I seen a Reddit post, I 3-starred Judo Sloth from Oliver. A great attack, by the way, and I even passed on my congratulations, but it showed to me that I had to switch things up on defense as well, because I'd been using the same layout from Itsu for a good number of days, and by that point it was getting pretty popular, as Itsu's bases do, so a number of people were starting to take it down. This is something I would have to look at more as we got further into the season, but for the moment I was really focused on getting my own army composition nailed down. And with my new lease of life towards the Hydra approach, I was able to finish the next day strong, actually beating my best and achieving 5,725 trophies. But I really had my sights set on hitting 6,000 at this point. Either way, since I was getting some more consistent 3-stars, I knew I wasn't going to switch the dragons themselves. If anything else was adjusted, it wasn't going to be the core army in that of the dragons and dragon riders. I mean, I'm terrible with base recognition. I've attacked a similar layout to this. I don't know if I've attacked the same layout or not, but we should be able to snipe across here. Probably from the barracks, I would think. So let's start with the queen. When she goes to the barracks now, yeah, so we missed an air defense there, but that's not the end of the world. The blimp into that scattershot section. Now the dragons to make sure the queen goes down over. Yeah, so see how that protects my queen now moving down to this section? Because if the queen goes down, it really is more troublesome. Okay, Warden ability, because I like to use that through the town hall area. And I think let's go Minion Prince since he's facing in the right direction, and we can get the air defense there. And I think we should go RC from here. Did have some dragons split, but again, I think we're good. Do we have a freeze? We do. Can we get the queen in time? Perfect. Just keep the queen moving through the outside of the base there to try and get that air defense and protect our dragons. Integrating the ice golem in front of the queen gives you that little bit of flexibility with the arrow, and I've found that dropping that one balloon for the 2 minions and archer really has helped in speeding up time. And on that one, yeah, we had plenty of dragons left over, but let's see how the rest of today goes. Try and get the air defense at the back. We missed it. Okay, it's unfortunate because every fail is just so close. Oh, I missed the sweeper as well. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, what happened there? How did... Ooh, we lost a lot in the middle there. Towards the end of the day, I felt like I was still getting lucky on some of the attacks using my Yeti Blimp approach. It was really cool to attack TK. Oh, this is TK. Let's hope I can 3-star. Who is another creator who gemmed his base to max just like me. So there was, as I would later find out, a lot of top-level players that also had maxed accounts. One thing you will notice as you go through this video as well, the clan that TK was in, Mega Sultan, you will see that numerous times over because many pro players are paid to join clans and assure that those clans can get to the top of the leaderboard. But it does mean that Legends League is always super competitive. Day 17. I am happy with my progress using the dragons. For the moment, I am going to stick with the air attacks. I feel I'm doing much better than I was with the ground armies I was using. But I did adjust the army slightly yesterday. That is because for the last few days, I've had some varying results. A bunch of 3-stars, but I've also had at least 2 or 3 fails. Yesterday, with an annoying 2-star to start the day, I started thinking about adjusting the army slightly. So the Yeti Blimp was what I had to reconsider whether I should continue using it or whether I could switch that out to integrate the Stone Slammer into my dragons. The main thing was figuring out how would I then set up pathing on the other side of the base if I didn't have the Yeti Blimp? And that is why I dropped the clone spell to take the recall spell. This meant I could use my giant arrow to open up, but I wasn't stuck with the Archer Queen in that location. Once she had set up a bit of the funnel and was about to take damage, I could just recall her to send her at the other side of where I would deploy the dragons to set the funnel there. This was perfect because it's why I integrated the ice golem into the army in the first place. The queen could be better protected, I'd set up the funnel whereby I could then just use the dragons through the middle, and I also could use the minion prince alongside the dragons. I didn't need the flexibility of the minion prince for the funneling either. I then had way better results with this, finishing the day flawless after that opening 2-star. This allowed me to hit my new best of 5,855 trophies, putting me inside the top 1,000 on the global leaderboard and 11th in the UK. If I could sneak into the top 10 by the end of this video, that would be so cool. But my focus for the next couple of days is to hone in on this army composition, and then we can make some tweaks if needed once we've seen how consistent it is. Defense-wise, starting today, we have had 2 2-star defenses and 3 3-stars. Let's start the attacks though and see exactly how well I can do with this new army composition. Okay, so for this one... Got it. Oh, that was beautiful. What a beautiful giant arrow. Okay, queen's fine. I think if we got the expo and the archer tower, that's what I'd be wanting. But I do not want that ricochet cannon taking me down. There we go. That was beautiful. Then we can place the queen here. And keep a little bit of an eye on my queen. Use that expo just in case. I think the queen would have got it naturally. Use the wall breaker to there. I think we should be good here. We've got the rage and the poison, but it's not going to be needed. We can use the rage just so my army composition doesn't get all disjointed, but look at that. Wow. Overpowering. That's what I'm talking about. Execution mistakes are always going to happen. I am not the best player in the world, and with the amount of dragons left over there, very happy with that. What made me more happy was getting 3-star after 3-star after 3-star. Out of 13 attacks using this strategy, I had beat 12 of the bases, making my goal seem ever so closer. An opening 2-star, and from there, non-stop 3-stars. That is, again, my new personal best. Seem to be doing that every single day at the moment, which I will take, but we are edging closer to 6,000. Smashed it. Yes, I got that far air defense as well. Used my warden ability slightly earlier just to make sure that we caught the dragons moving to the right as well. Oh, this is going to be close. Wow, but we got it. Beautiful. Yes, we got both sweepers. Let's go. We are going to have to rage the dragons here. Come on, dragons. Should be good with this. 3-3-stars. We're doing pretty well today. Just that 1 2-star. 1 attack remains, and we're at my personal best, 5,960 trophies. That puts us number 416th in the world, but this next attack could actually get us to 6,000 trophies on the dot. Let's hope I don't mess it up. Yeah, we did get it. Nice. Okay. Beautiful. Might need to rage my queen here. Why is the rage spell not dropping? That was so weird. Oh, no! I should have froze the enemy queen, I guess. No! Could still get this. Come on. This is Itsu's base as well that we were using earlier on in the season. I just damaged the multi-archer tower. We might get it. Come on, come on, come on. Ooh, 6,000 trophies. Is it incoming? Come on! We've got a wizard tower to take down! 2 dragons up top that I didn't even see. We've got it! Yes, that was a close one. Wow. I was unsure whether to try and giant arrow the air sweeper, but it was further into the base. So that's why I decided to try and get the 2 air defense, which would line up the shot easier. It was just that the queen was always going to be under heavy fire at either side. 3 stars though, 40 trophies, puts us on 6,000 on the dot. My personal best, and 176th in the world. That means we are inside the top 200 for the first time in this video. Yes! And in the UK, oh my goodness, we're top! Yes! How high can we get in the next 17 days? 6,000 trophies was one of my targets. We've smashed my personal best, but the last couple of days, we've really accelerated things. So let's see what I can do in the final couple of weeks. As you push higher up the leaderboard, though, you come up against harder bases. This is because players are more highly upgraded, but they also have effective layouts. Everyone is running top-notch bases once you get towards the top end of Legends League, and that just requires you to constantly keep improving your attacks. And that's what I was trying to do each and every day. One major learning point for me was being reactive with my Warden ability. This is because in this example against Spring, I didn't necessarily do anything wrong with the execution of my attack in that moment. I arguably almost did things too good because I funneled all of my dragons into the center of the base, but since I used my Warden ability after the Town Hall through the Giga Bomb and a couple of other defenses, it wore off by the time my dragons got to the core of the base, and a tornado trap rotated every single one of them into all of the red air mines and the seeking air mines, resulting in pretty much all of my dragons going down. To counteract this, it's always about knowing roughly where are you going to get good value with your abilities or spells, but being flexible as well. You can always use a rage or a freeze spell to get through an area faster or slow it down, but when it comes to air traps, you cannot get away from them other than the Warden ability. And I got much better at this, assuring that as I was moving through the base, I had a rough idea of where the high damage areas were, but I was watching for those seeking air mines popping up, and typically you will have all of the red air mines together because this is where they have the biggest impact, especially versus healers. People are just trying to take them down with a bunch of them. So using the Warden ability more reactively was something that I really had to pick up. And this is where live commentary at this point really dwindled in my attacks because there is so much you need to focus on. In the first 30 seconds when you're scouting a base, you need to be looking at air sweeper positions. How are you going to path dragons to the core? How do I set up funneling on one side of the base initially? Do I break my queen in to get a deeper funnel before I recall her? And then when I push her to the other side of the base, how much damage is she taking? As I am concentrating on deploying my dragons through the middle, when can I change my focus to keep an eye on my archer queen so that she is safe down the flank? There is so much that goes into not just the planning, but as you're executing, being flexible, that this is where trying to think about all of that, articulate that information to you, but do it in an entertaining way. Make sure that I am keeping everything in perspective for you. It just gets too much. It's not that you can never do it, but clearly when you are attacking day after day, consistency is key and there is more chance of slip-ups. But every couple of days, I'd make sure to pop my camera on to update you on things, and also you could get some snippets of live commentary whenever my focus wasn't completely required. Day 24. Let's dive into the first attack of today. Maybe at times I can explain things if I feel I have the bandwidth to do so, but really we're hoping for a bunch of 3 stars today. Queen went down. That's really, really unfortunate. I knew the ricochet cannon was there and the archer queen was deeper into the base, but I figured I had enough time to shift my focus to the dragons, but I still lost my queen in that section. There we go. Get rid of all of those archers in the middle. Let's turn RC and Minion Prince invisible. Too easy. Oh, same base. Oh, wow. I actually have this base myself. I literally missed all the air defense. Break my queen. Oh, she's gone the wrong way. No. This is really bad. This is really bad. This is really bad. Come on. Good warden ability. Perfect freeze for that super dragon. And if we get the ground expo down, queen is then safe. Yeah, we're good. Wow, that was not a good entry with the queen. It became clear that an effective layout was the critical thing. With my attacks, sometimes I would annihilate a maxed base, and then I would struggle with a base that really wasn't that highly upgraded. And that is just because of the approach to the base. And obviously, if you have a good layout, you have a better chance of success. And for a lot of my push, I was just using bases I found on the internet. But towards the end, as I was getting really good results on offense, but equally struggling on defense, I reached out to a couple of pro players that I have met at live events, Ghost and Ninja. They agreed to help share bases with me, and this is where I personally got into base building as well. Don't get me wrong, I was very much following the advice of the players that have been base builders for the pro teams, but I was quite happy engaging in conversation, discussing trap placement in specific. Do you think it's better to place Tesla here or the air mines over here? Because essentially all you're trying to do in Legends League, you can't defend everything. You're trying to figure out what are the most common strategies you're being hit with within that trophy range, and how do you defend that strategy? Typically, root riders are harder to defend. They're harder to bait. So we were actually trying to defend dragons for the most part, which I knew I was using dragons, and I might have been better off switching to a different strategy, but I wanted to just keep consistent with what I was doing. But like I said, Ghost and Ninja, they were very good at predicting entries, trying to encourage someone to attack at one location, and then you'd obviously trap that so that you could trip somebody up, because that is really where you can get a defense from. If you can make someone make a mistake in the middle of the attack, being flexible and adjusting on the fly, that's where the concentration I was talking about comes in. That is the trickiest part, and it's okay. You can get lucky once in a while, but to be consistent, you have 8 attacks per day. Doing that every single day throughout the season, those slip-ups will come in if you're not careful, and that's what you're counting on defense. If I could get a couple of defenses a day and try and minimize those slip-ups I had on offense as well, then clearly you're making progress. The part that was sometimes frustrating for me is that at one point I was resetting around about 300th in the world every single day, but I was actually slowly slipping down the leaderboard despite going positive each day, because there were other people around me getting more defenses or doing better on offense. I did have the slip-ups every once in a while, and ultimately, when you're at the top of the game, you can't afford to do that. The same happens on defense though. Myself, Ninja, and Ghost, we were all running the same base layout. Sometimes I would scrape one defense and Ghost would have 4 defenses that day. There was another day where Ninja had like 3 1-star defenses, and it can be so frustrating, but you get that opportunity. I did have one day when I got a bunch of defenses, and it's about being able to capitalize on that on offense. So it really just came down to a little bit of luck of the draw who matched you that day, but also most of the time you're not going to do great on defense, but when you do get that one good day, that's where the consistency on offense comes in, and that's where the pro players, everyone that pushes to the top of Legends League, they don't have those slip-ups on offense, so they can then take advantage of those days when they do get a good defense. But you also can't just rest on that. You need to be adjusting your base every day essentially, and swapping out your entire layout every couple of days if it's not quite working, so that you're always on the cutting edge of base designs. The more that bases get popular, and let me tell you, my bases were getting shared all of the time. But that's where you really just have to be keeping on top of things, because as a base gets more popular, well, then people figure out how to beat it, so you always have to be switching things up. As fun as it was, as you've seen, for me to match pro players on offense, I even had Yo-Yo reach out to me one day saying, "Stop attacking me," since I attacked his base literally back-to-back days, which is quite funny. But it was cool to get involved with this community and that aspect of the game, the higher level trophy pushing scene. But it also meant that I had pro players matching me and trying to defend them as well. Day 26. It is 9 a.m. and at this point in the day yesterday, I had already taken 5 defenses. However, so far today, I have not been attacked. This means I reset yesterday at 5,998 trophies. And this is what is so interesting about Legend League pushing, is that the leaderboard throughout the entire day is luck-based as to how many times you have been attacked. Yes, it is within your hands whether you want to rush your 8 attacks, but really what matters is the end of the day. Once you have done all of your attacks on offense and taken all of your attacks on defense, you can see right at the end of yesterday, I was waiting of that last attack, and it was Itsu that 3-starred me. Given that he has 3 accounts that he pushes in Legends League, I knew it would only be a matter of time, but it's quite funny that he is giving me feedback and advice on my attacks. And yet, let's quickly show you it. He floored me on defense yesterday. He did use the Royal Champion dive, nearly lost his Royal Champion to the Rage scatter shot, I have to say, but was very quick in reacting, pulling her to safety, and then redeploying alongside the rest of the Root Riders to crush my base. However, even though my ongoing goal throughout this video has been to finish in the top 100, and like I said, even though I reset close to that goal overnight, now there are a bunch of people that have done all of their attacks already, so I'm not even in the top 1,000. However, the purpose of this video at first was to beat my all-time best, which earlier on in the season we set at 6,142. Given that I have now reset close to 6,000, as long as I do well on offense, you can get a maximum of 320 trophies each day if you're 8 attacks, then we should be able to smash that record right now. Yes, I wanted that archer tower at the back as well to protect my queen, and it worked perfectly. Missed the dragons in the spell there, so that was really unfortunate. Come on, we need that expo down to protect the queen. Oh, the queen went down. I don't believe it. I've had spectators the last 2 attacks. It just adds pressure. I feel like telling him not to watch. Please. Okay, my dragons are splitting, so that's not ideal. All because we never got that sweeper down quick enough. This is bad. Hey, we're good here. Yeah, very happy with that one. Oh, queen, 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 queen. Quick, 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 quick. Where's my minion prince? There it is. Oh my goodness. Freeze. What is going on? Oh, I should have raged the dragons at the back here, but we should be good. That could have been the difference maker if my queen had gone down, but keeping my queen alive during this attack has helped drastically. This one's fully upgraded is the thing. Do I need to rage? That's the question. I don't think I do. Don't like that air defense on my healers. No, this is not good. Can't reach the single. I'm going to rage there to try and get the single. Come on, Warden. Go for the single Inferno. Wow, yes. The fox got it. I think we're going to fail, though. Super unfortunate. I feel like I attacked that okay as well. As the season went on, I felt like I would be able to get a better position if I swapped to the Electro Boots. They were released midway through the season, incredibly powerful, virtually impossible to stop on defense. But I really like trying to perfect strategies, and I feel like when you are really attacking with the same thing over and over, you get to learn the nuances and get to the next level. That's what I found through Legends League, is you don't always get that in war attacks, where you always get as long as you want to plan, and you don't always analyze your attacks afterwards when you do fail. Because ultimately, any of the attacks that I wasn't able to succeed with, I was really breaking down, okay, what could I have done there? But towards the end, I was very hesitant of tweaking my army composition, because muscle memory is something that is massive when you're attacking that often throughout the day, and it helps with then being able to decrease your focus on certain things so that you can keep an eye on your queen better as she's going down the flank of the base. And sometimes little things I became way more consistent with. For example, wall breaking my queen into the base initially to get better value, even investing a rage spell, multiple freeze or invisibility spells before I recalled the queen. You might think you need those spells on the dragons, but really if you can create that pathing, you can give the dragons an easier ride. And that's where my flexibility with the strategy was really heightened, from honing in on it and not switching to the Electro Boots. Even though I will be honest, I will probably try and adjust the army composition next season to see where I get. But I always think there's something to be said for actually improving your skill. I want to get the highest trophy count I can. As this video has gone on, I got a lot more engaged in Legends League and wanting to get a good position in terms of where I finish on the leaderboard as well. But equally, I didn't want to use event troops. We sometimes getting smashed by mass ram riders, and it's almost just difficult to analyze that as a defense, or at least on offense. I didn't want to commit time into honing in on a strategy, which was then going to be gone afterwards. Because towards the start of this video, you've seen me, jumping around attack strategies, trying to figure out what I wanted to use, but then it was a case of honing in on that attack strategy so I could learn every single thing about it, try and assure that towards the end of the season, where it really mattered, I could be as flexible, as comfortable, and pulling in as many 3 stars as possible. But with many ups and downs, improving my skills with this attack strategy, getting experience in Legends League, I have never trophy pushed to this magnitude before. The purpose I had set out on this video was to get the highest trophy count that I could, and that was going to happen after you've slowly been gaining trophies the whole time on the last day of the season. Day 35. It is 5 a.m. right now, and there is 1 minute until the day resets, and that is the final day of Legends League. Right now, we are resetting at 126th in the world. Stars right up there at number 1 as expected. Number 3 is his second account, which I attacked yesterday, but a top 100 finish is only 8 trophies away. Those trophies are so difficult at this level though. I am going to risk it all and use an invisibility spell tower base for this final day. I've never actually been online when the season resets, and I'm not sure that this is a good idea to try and blast all of my attacks in the middle of the night. But in order to actually achieve our goal of getting the highest all-time best possible, we need to try and do all 8 attacks, hopefully before I even take a defense. I knew getting up this early, being tired, would have its drawbacks, but it was the only opportunity to get the highest amount of trophies I could, so I kind of had to do it. And to be honest, I also, on top of that, let the pressure get to me a little bit, because people can say some very hateful things, and I feel as a creator, there's almost added pressure to do well. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to shake that off, but I put so much pressure on myself that ultimately it means that you are more nervous for your attacks. Don't get me wrong, everyone that high up in Legends League are going to be nervous with their attacks, but knowing that I am sharing those with people just makes you feel a little bit more anxious to do well. And clearly that, on top of everything else, got me with these first 2 attacks, so I really needed a 3-star from here. Oh my goodness me, the first attack, I can't believe it. I normally 3-star that base every day of the week. What a... Despite some stability and some good attacks, I made the mistake, which I recognized I had potential of making earlier on in the season, but I decided against it. I always had my Royal Champion on the far left hero slot, despite not using her until the end of the battle, and I thought about switching my heroes around to place her to the far right, but since I had attacked like that for a number of days, I left it. I thought I'd let muscle memory take its course, but on the last day of the season, where it really mattered, I placed my Royal Champion in rather than my Stone Slammer. This lured the ice golems so that my dragons got stuck, and in the midst of the attack, I was clearly very confused. No wonder. I was wondering why the ice golems came out of the clan castle. It's because I put my Royal Champion in rather than the Stone Slammer. But the past is the past, and the only way forward is looking ahead. And finally, I started to get some more consistent 3-stars. First 2 attacks I should have been fine with. Third attack, if I'd have deployed my Royal Champion rather than my Stone Slammer, rather than the Royal Champion, I was good. And yes, I must admit, the 3 fails had me rattled, especially because it is the most fails I have had in a single day over the past few weeks. It's always frustrating when the attacks that you fail, you really should have got. This really shows how much I improved over the course of the season, because at the start, I would have been happy with this performance, but as I got better and was gaining 7 to 8 3 stars a day, it meant that more than one fail was really frustrating. But I feel by fully applying yourself, that is when you will develop and achieve your goals. And whilst this was so much work, even on the production side, I recorded all of my 280 attacks across the season. It meant that I did beat my best with 6,427 trophies, number 5 in the world. However, the double invis base did not pay off, so I finished 451st, which I'm still very proud of. I reached my goal, breaking my trophy record, but in an upcoming video, you will see how I improved my rank to finish 3rd global. If you want to see the opposite end of the spectrum when I took my account to Bronze League, I have that video linked on your screen. Enjoy the rest of your day.